You're going to have to lose before you ever win. And that's exactly my story. I lost a lot of money before getting to this level. I've lost a lot of time and a lot of sleep. And I wish I knew what I know now when I opened my first business. I finally realized the losses you have to go through before you actually achieve anything. And I can tell you the first few years of my business really sucked and I lost a lot. But here we are today to tell that story. This is quite embarrassing, but the very first month of my business, I thought we were going under. I looked at my bank account and it was flatlined around maybe $800. And then by the end of the week, it dropped even lower to probably around $65. That's a full-on store, like a full-on operating grocery store with $20,000 to $30,000 in inventory and about $4,000 to $5,000 in monthly expenses that needed to be paid. This was a big moment in our business, and everything was about to crumble. I'm gonna be honest with you, I thought the place would shut down that month. In the very first month, after the grand opening, after, all the celebrations, after all the congratulatory posts online, after the media came through with cameras, I honestly thought this business was going to shut down. There was no money to pay the rent. Rent bill comes, I tell the landlord straight, if I have to pay this, I'm going to go under. I will be in the red and not be able to buy any more inventory to restock the store. Thankfully, he had some mercy on me and realized I was a kid who didn't know what I was doing and gave me more time to pay. And that's when we really had to buckle down and figure our shit out. And it slowly got a little bit better, and we slowly built ourselves up to, manage our finances a little better. That was probably something that nobody knows on this channel. If I didn't learn from this loss and experience what I learned from this first small business that I owned, I wouldn't be, building my new content agency. If you want to work with me, just follow the link down below in my email. I would not be able to experience this if I didn't take this first loss. And that, when you look back at things, honestly, sometimes in life, you realize they happen for a reason. Because, one business exit led me to this new business, the content agency. And I'm truly happy that actually a few people have come through this channel to work with me. And it's not even the financial part of that sucked. That, looking at your account, realizing you won't be able to pay your very first months of rent. But the emotional side of it, you just feel like a loser. The self-doubt kicks in, realizing you're about to go have to tell everyone that this business that you just opened is about to close. Because most people in your life expect your business to fail. The people behind the scenes, they truly expect the business to fail. And I don't mean to be an asshole, but that's just the mindset of everybody who doesn't understand business or is just a negative person in general. That's a whole nother video in and of itself, but realize that most people behind the scenes, they expect your business to fail. And that was about to be me, and I knew that. I knew I was going to have to go tell everyone that my business was done in a month. The self-doubt, you just feel like a piece of garbage. But other than that, those were some emotional times. Nobody talks about this in business school. Nobody wants to talk about this because the psychology behind being a business owner is ugly. It involves a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of worry, a lot of, let's put it this way, you'll probably consider going back to a job at least 10 times a year. And like I tell everyone, you are truly going to have to lose before you ever win. And I'm not saying, you have to have catastrophic losses where you lose hundreds of thousands of dollars before you find your gem of a business. But until you go through the bullshit that it comes with truly being a small business owner, grinding from the bottom, where you don't even know if you can put food on the table. And until you truly go through that, I think there's a lesson learned in that shitty part of business that you'll never find unless you go through it. And yes, okay, obviously we got through it. We were lucky enough to make it through it. We found some sort of angle and mercy from a landlord who wanted to see us succeed. But at the end of the day, I thought it was over. Anyways, after that, obviously that taught us a true lesson on business 101, because before you open a business, you have no idea what's coming. And I had no idea. You think I thought after opening this business, planning it out for a year, setting it all up, that in a month it was about to shut down? No, but it was a lesson learned. And here's the lesson. Figure your shit out. As simple as I'm putting it, there's a way to slowly get yourself out of the problem that you're in. No matter what you want to tell yourself, no matter how big the problem is, I'm telling you, in business, it is all strategy. If you find a way or fix the problem, I know I'm simplifying it, any problem can be fixed. Because there's an old saying, if you have a problem money can solve, you don't have a problem. As simple as it sounds, I realized business isn't just about top line revenue. And that's what I thought going into this. Yes, I can simplify and say it's about profit or cash flow, but it truly is about building a community around you that cares to keep showing up week after week after week, or clients that keep showing up month after month after month. As corny as it sounds, it always comes back to say you're not in, a produce business, or you're not in a grocery store business, you're in a people business. This applies to everything. If you find a way to connect with people, learn how to talk, learn the charisma it takes to keep people attracted to you, this is where your business will flourish. Even if you make a mistake or miss something, if you find a way to truly connect with people, even on this channel, if I find a way to truly connect with people, that's when my business will take off. This goes for everything: sales, real estate, grocery store businesses, restaurants. If the community connects with you, you've already won. That's what I had to realize with this loss. And that's all I can tell you guys from this business loss. If you aren't prepared to take a loss, you aren't prepared to win. Well, I feel good about myself for that line right there. Anyways, that's all I have going today, guys. Thank you so much for listening to this TED Talk, we'll call it. Self-proclaimed TED Talk. Have a good night.